Welcome, everybody. You are listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's NFL Week 9, and the hot seat is heating up, sizzling in some places. I'm Spitface. Please welcome our host, the First Lady of Sports Talk, Cheryl Smith. Good morning, First Lady.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, things are getting heated in the NFL. And we shall see, the playoff picture is starting to form up. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, well, some of them divisions, they look topsy-turvy. But First Lady, it's some thieving people. And fortunately, I haven't had anything being thieved from me in quite a while. But Shaq Daddy was the victim of some thieves. And apparently, they swooped on Shaq Daddy's custom $200,000 SUV.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, now, so, I'm looking at, and I saw some film of that SUV. That's a bad SUV.
And I think it's a Range Rover. It's a Range Rover. Yes, it was a customized Range Rover.
Yeah, hey, it custom too. I'm like, oh, bad. Well, Shaq, I hope they recover your vehicle because they should have, and all that customization, put a tracker on that bad boy, GPS or something.
Well, they got low jack. I don't know why he didn't have low jack in there.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. They got low jack, no jack, and Freddie Jack. They could do it. So I'm like, come on. You spend $200,000 and they don't put some technology in where you can track that boy at all times. It sounds like an inside job to me, personally. Sound like something going on inside, and almost as the what the Dodgers go do. But we shall see. All right, First Lady, this week go shout out. We have performances from Mighty Igloo Crew. Will they find their shining star or get the cold feel of the mute button? First Lady, we're ready. What you say?
Each week, we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world. Not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something? So we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the Spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. On Sunday, Pablo Torre reported that Pro Football Hall of Fame tight end Antonio Gates allegedly hosted and participated in an allegedly rigged poker game in Miami. The game was allegedly organized by Curtis Meeks, who was indicted earlier this week. Gates is the first former NFL player to be linked to the scandal. Torre later reported that Kevin Garnett allegedly stopped by the rigged poker game in 2019 when he thought he was going to an after party. Per Torre, Garnett left without playing and has not been contacted by the authorities. Along with Garnett, Torre reported that current Clippers coach Ty Lue was at an allegedly rigged poker game in 2019, but played at a different table than Billups. George Foreman, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, both rest in peace. Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones Jr., and the Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? Oh, no. Pablo Torre, the former reporter for ESPN, is breaking this news about Antonio Gates. Bitface, he is the investigative reporter that broke the Kawhi Leonard Clippers scandal regarding them allegedly circumventing the NBA collective bargaining agreement. So he is very thorough in his reporting. So there probably is some truth to this situation. Now, Gates has not been formally indicted, and he has denied these accusations by his management company. And, he is adamantly denying these accusations. Now, when the NBA story broke, we discussed this. You remember, Spitface? We said this might be the tip of the iceberg. And, at the time, we said it was the tip of the iceberg. So the fact that they mentioned about Ty Lue being there, but he wasn't at the rig table, I mean, thank God for Ty Lue, but it still don't mean he may be still involved some way, somehow, because I'm like saying he wasn't at the rig table. So how many tables they had? Some were rigged and some were not. I'm trying to understand that. Now it's very funny. Kevin Garnett was looking to party, so he hightailed out of there when he saw that it was a poker party. So good decision, Kevin Garnett. That's all I would say. That was a good decision. But yeah, I mean, am I surprised? And we shouldn't really be surprised that this has carried over to the NFL. I mean, previously, you remember, Spitface, in the NFL, 5 players were suspended for betting on NFL games in 2023. But the thing with the NFL, they all have been reinstated back to the league. I mean, there was no evidence that they manipulated their own prop bets, but they still bet on the NFL. And it seems to me that these players, to me, should have been banned for life for betting on, an NFL, and a couple of them bet on their own game. But the NFL has a very lenient policy, obviously, because in baseball, we already know if you bet on baseball, you're banned for life. Our examples are Pete Rose. He was the former coach of the Cincinnati Reds and used to play for the Cincinnati Reds, and he bet and got banned for life. They just lifted the ban after he died because it was a lifetime ban, and he was no longer living, so that's why it was lifted. But in 2024, I might be pronouncing his name wrong, but Copita Marcano, he played for the San Diego Padres. He betted on the Major League Baseball, including games of his former team when he played for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Well, he was banned for life. So, it's quite interesting why the NFL is so lenient with their policy for betting on NFL games, whereas the basketball, because in basketball, if you bet on basketball games, you are banned. And baseball, they do not allow that. And it's kind of interesting how the NFL is completely different. I did look up the National Hockey League, so it really didn't indicate it's up to the commissioner, to decide what they're going to do, but they really didn't. I didn't see people that were banned for betting on NHL games. Now, like I said, Pablo Torre is on this case, and he's like a bulldog. He'll definitely get to the bottom of this situation. All right, Spitface, over to you.
Well, shout out to Pablo Torres, and I'm sure his parents are going, that Harvard education actually paid off. It actually paid off. But First Lady, as we said, the tip of the iceberg, and we're still around the tip. This ain't went deep yet, and it will. And I was listening to a performer, rapper. I don't recall his name, but he's well known. And he said, I thought that when you made it, you didn't have to do all that whole stuff, gambling on the side, all of that. He said, you already got money. You done made money. So I'm looking, and I'm like, I'm thinking back to Michael Jordan. Here's Michael Jordan, and notorious in some ways as a gambler. Because when he had the money, and he had enough money where he could lose. And a lot of times he lost. Sometimes he won, a lot of times he lost. But he had the money. And he didn't have to, he wasn't scheming to get somebody else's money. You know, he was playing whatever game they were playing, and he played to win. And whether it was golf and, okay, hey, you know, I can drop $100,000 on a bet. He had that kind of money. You know, I mean, he has that kind of money today. So he could indulge himself. Now, when you are scheming to take somebody's money, that says something about, you know, what you have, don't have, want to have. And, you know, you're looking at people who made millions. And if they didn't make millions, they made hundreds of thousands, you know, which gave them an edge. So either way, they, quote, made it. And it's like, what are you doing? You know, what did you get caught up in? And that is going to start coming out. And it may not be, and it's not, well, not may not, it's not going to be pretty for the NBA, the NFL, and and you know, baseball is not going to escape. You know, they're not. You know, it's just that players in baseball go, well, look, we've learned that most of us have learned don't bet on baseball, but they go, that has nothing to do with me playing in a fixed poker game. You know, you don't get banned from life for that. You know, so it is going to carry over. And it's going to point to the larger problem. And that larger problem is sports betting. And, you know, it's not the old days where, okay, you know, I'm betting to see if my team will win or lose against another team. Or, you know, even with the point spread, well, do I take the points? You know, it's will a certain player have a shoot, how many free throws will they make? You know, aspect. It's so many elements and aspects that people can bet on that it. I want to say that it has contaminated the sport, not the athleticism of the sport, not the game, but the experience. You know, people, they're not even into the game. They're into what did I just bet on? So there is going to be an impact, and it already has. It already has. There are college kids who they'll tell you that they're spending most of their money gambling. You know, they're supposed to be, you know, in college to embark on, you know, prepare to embark on their future careers. And many of them, he said, hey, when you go back to the dorm room, everybody on a sports app. So there's a tsunami that's on its way. A tsunami, First Lady. And I put it like this. Folks who get a bigger paycheck than me and First Lady need to be looking at it. That's what I'm saying first.
Okay. Yeah, it is going to be a tsunami. I agree with you 100%. This is just wide open, and there's going to be some more names to come forward. Like we had said last week when they did the arrest of 30-something people, you know, they're going to be cutting deals, trying to get out of prison early, whatever, and they're going to give some names. And so it's going to be interesting how this continues to play out. So we'll see. We're going to see, because this is going to be a long, drawn-out process, Spitface, a long, drawn-out process. All right, Spitface, over to you.
All right, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking my peers and putting suckers in fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go boom. Explosion, overpowering over the competition. I'm towering. Record shop when I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the tops. Don't you dare stare, you better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest of the August slice and dice competition. Paying the price. I'm gonna knock you out, huh? Mama said knock you out, huh? We are talking about the knockout punch to the Cowboys by the Broncos losing 44-24. Is it starting to look apparent that trading your best defensive player was not a smart idea? The Cowboys' record is 3-4-1. Is it time to stick a fork in this turkey? Only one team in the NFC East has a winning record and is over 500. Has the NFC East become the worst division in football? Jerry Jones can't be fired, but if he was a GM of a different team that he didn't own, would he be fired? Did this game say more about the Broncos or the Cowboys? Leroy Satchel Paige, Walter Buckletter, and my man James Cool Papa Bell are asking what you saying. First Lady, the Cowboys, yeah, and I won't say the team. I'm just going to say the Cowboys organization, they're starting to look downright weird. There's bad mistakes, there's arrogance, there's, my star players, I always got to stretch everything out and create animosity. But see, they so talented, they're going to play the game. They play. But that little bit of animosity is always there because deals that I could get done early and save my team money, I'm always waiting to the last, to darn near the beginning of the season, because and I end up giving them the money anyway, but more money. I don't know what the thinking is with that organization. They're just plain weird, and Dak, and now I'm starting to be sympathetic with Dak, because I'm going, Dak, obviously you got a ton of talent. You got skills. You've been in the top, 5 quarterbacks throughout your entire darn career. And if your team was winning, you'd be in the lead. You'd be, if not the bet, a strong bet to get the MVP. But no, you play on the Dallas Cowboys. you play on a team that, it's not that the train wreck is coming. The train wreck starts on the first game of the season because some foolish thing Jerry Jones came up with has loomed over the team throughout training camp. And usually that's a star player where the team is going, man, this could be our year. We got to get, but no, you didn't sign the deal. No, you dragged that out. And then the other, the team looks. Hey, if you treat that person like that, but even though they got their money, you still get left with that plantation owner mentality. And Jerry, this is not when you had the triplet. It's not when you had the triplet. This is and you had Jimmy Johnson. No, this is a different era, buddy. And I am going to say that yes, you can stick a fork in this turkey. You can stick a solid fork in this turkey. The Eagles own this division, and the Commanders hit they hit a serious bump in the road. They did. They hit a serious bump in the road. But I had put more money on the Commanders rebounding and making that run to get a wild card spot over the Cowboys any day. Actually, I might give the Giants a little love. They could make a move here and there. The Cowboys, you just don't know. They are such a weird team. And if Jerry Jones was the straight up GM of a different team that he didn't own, he would have been fired. He would have been fired. Now, did this game say more about the Broncos or the Cowboys? And I had to say it said more about the Broncos and the fact that the Broncos are getting each week they get better at some element of their game. The quarterback gets a little bit better, more confident. The team is, the organization gets a little bit better. So it just really says that they're playing. It's saying that they're legit. The Broncos are legit. They play in a tough division, and they're legit. That AFC West ain't no joke, and they right in the mix of things. So it really said a lot about the Broncos. The only thing it said about the Cowboys was that is that they're falling into their predictable ways, a train wreck that's just been happening all along. First Lady, what you say?
Well, I don't think it's time to stick a fork in the turkey for the Cowboys. I mean, currently they are in 10th position. The 49ers, Bears, and Panthers are ahead of them. Now, the 49ers have a record of 5-3 and currently hold the last wild card position. So, according to Next Gen Stats, the Cowboys have a 14% chance to make it to the playoffs, which is not that great. Now, they play the Arizona Cardinals. If they win this game, it'll boost up to 19%. Now, it's going to be an arduous task for the Cowboys to make it to the playoffs because let me explain something. Their next 5 games will determine if they make it to the playoffs. They play the Cardinals on Monday night, have a bye week, then play the Raiders again on Monday night. Then 6 days later, they play the Eagles on Sunday. Then 4 days later, they play the Chiefs on Thanksgiving Day. I mean, this is a very tough schedule because, of course, they have 2 games against last year's Super Bowl participants, plus having to play games without having that full, 7 days in between? So it's going to be a tough schedule for us. So what they do in these next 5 games will determine if it's time to stick a fork in turkey. Now, is the NFC East the worst division? No, because it's a very competitive division. These teams have to play each other twice. You got to play the Giants, you got to play the Commanders, you got to play the Eagles. That's a very tough division. It's always been a very competitive division, regardless of what people's scores records are. They play each other very tough. And furthermore, this year, that division had to play the AFC West, games against the AFC West and the NFC North. That's why the Cowboys were playing the Broncos, because they're in the AFC West. These are 2 of the toughest divisions to play. AFC West, you got the Chiefs, Chargers, and Broncos. And to me, NFC North probably was one of the best divisions last year. Remember, you got to play Green Bay, the Lions, and at that time, the Vikings is not an easy out, and the Bears were playing better this year. So that's why their records are not good because of the fact they have tough schedules this year for the NFC West. So this is what the issue is. Now, did this game say more about the Broncos or the Cowboys? Like I said, the game to me say more about the Broncos because the Broncos are a good team. And when you are playing top-notch team, obviously the Cowboys, they didn't do well in this game, but the Broncos, again, are a very tough team to play. And, yeah, Jerry Jones was a GM. Please, if he was a GM on a different team, Jerry Jones would have been fired long time ago because he is just not a great GM. And as a matter of fact, he caused the Cowboys a lot of issues because of their policies and some of the decisions that they made, obviously trading Micah Parsons and not giving him the money when he deserved, and then waiting so long to give Dak his money and CD Lamb. They could have given their money earlier. If you're going to keep somebody, you give the money to them early so you don't have to end up paying a lot more. And they just, for some reason, do not realize that. So that's just bad management on Jerry Jones's part. So, no, yeah, he would have been fired. Face a long time ago.
All right, First Lady, the man with the big hat. All right, First Lady, you have the last word. Please take us to the break.
Stay tuned. Up next, we have a performance from the Mighty Igloo Crew on Shout Out Part 1. Are they from Alaska?
Welcome back. The music flows in from around the globe to get a shout out from the panel. First Lady, I can't wait to hear the music from Mighty Igloo Crew.
On Shout Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, we'll give the track a shout out. If we don't like it, we hit the mute. On the first part of the shout out, we are featuring music from Mighty Igloo Crew and their hit album, Black from Hell. And no, they're not out of Alaska. They are from Miami. So they say the Mighty Igloo Crew, featuring Mo Dog Chill and Mike Smooth, have been banging out tracks for years. All right, DJ, let's hear Black Girl.
Queen of my world, my odyssey, my goddess, and you'll always be a part of my world. Black girl, you're the first one from dirt. Archaeologists acknowledge you gave birth to this earth. Black girl, black girl, you keep my head on the swivel. You make me double dribble every time I see your figure. Black girl, good to me. So good, so good. You look so good, so good to me. So good, so good. You look so good, so good to me. So good, so good. You look so good, so good to me. So good. I like it when you're natural, hair, skin, body, and parrot toe, witty as can be. Woodpecker like a tree, black girl that I'm with. I thumb up all your pics, I glaze you to a drips. I flick you like a Vic, you lit my candlestick. Now hot wax turn to brick, no matter what they print. You and I are meant, must not become extinct. Let's sneak and leak a drink, unveil that body ink. Press against the kitchen sink, I'm probing something pink. I'm vaping something stink, yeah, it might be what you think. We laugh, we fuss, we bust, got the munchies for your lust. And be that is a must, procreate one just like us, black girl. You look so good, so good to me. So good, so good. You look so good, so good to me. So good, so good. You look so good, so good to me. So good, so good. You look so good, so good to me. So good.
Call it what you want, any way you want. Nothing can beat a black girl. Put my head on a swivel, make me wanna double dribble. My black girl, breaking all the rules.
Okay. All right. Now, Specface, is this song Black Girl getting a shout out, or are you hitting the mute button?
I'm giving it a shout out, but I do want to add in that I like the track, but I think that they could have had more lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
That it needed a few more lyrics for the rapper, and it needed a few more lyrics for the singer. But sometimes, as they say, don't mess it up. but I felt they could have added. But hey, you don't want to add too many elements to the gumbo because you end up messing it up. So I'm shouting it out.
Okay, I kind of agree with you on everything you just said. I am going to shout it out. They had he had some rapping skills, and the singer was nice voice, but the production of the song, maybe because of the lack of lyrics, probably was what you're talking about. But I'm still going to shout it out. They have potential. So when you have potential, I'm going to shout you out. Anytime somebody has potential, that means they can. Okay, yeah, they definitely have potential. So on part 2 of Shout Out, we'll be featuring another performance from Mighty Igloo Crew, and we shall see if they can have another shout out on their second song. Is that the sound of our favorite underwater friend? Is it time for Flip It?
All right, it's time for Flip It, while hosts defend the view and flip the script and defend the opposite view. And let's see here. The Steelers have a 4-3 record after a loss by Aaron Rodgers. After a loss by Aaron Rodgers to his old team, the Green Bay Packers. They still lead their division, but we wonder, pretenders or contenders? Defend. As long as they don't put on those ugly uniforms, they are contenders. First Lady, Aaron Rodgers did not have his best game against his old team. And Green Bay, really looks like they look like they're back to form from last season. They ready to battle it out for the NFC North crown. They look like they got theirs together. Now, the Steelers, I'll just say that the Steelers are contenders. They still lead their division, and their division, everybody is questionable. Will the Bengals have a resurgence all of a sudden? Will the Ravens be able to bounce back and catch up with them? Cleveland might even mess around and give a lot of teams a hard time at. So in some ways, that division is wide open. But the thing that is in their favor, that is even in their favor, is they do have a slight edge over everyone, record-wise. And Aaron Rodgers will redeem himself. There were some good moments in the game, just not enough for the Steelers to prevail. But the defense, there's still work on it. There's still work with the Steelers, but they have that edge, And in that crazy division, that's all you need. It's just that little bit of edge to end up taking the crown. First Lady, defend. Even with the loss, they are contenders.
Yeah, it was a bad loss for the Steelers. They're contenders, and, one of the reasons they're contenders, they still have a strong defense, even though the defense really hasn't been up to the par where it had normally been. I mean, they still got playmakers. You still got T.J. Watt. You got Patrick Queen. So they still can rely on their defense. The Steelers can grind wins out. I mean, they got a rugged style. They win close games, and they just got tough people on the team that they can win. And now their offense, they still got DK Metcalf. He's a top-notch receiver. And one thing that was bothering the Steelers all the time for the past previous year is a quarterback. And Aaron Rodgers, even though he didn't have a great game the last time, but Aaron Rodgers is still very good for the Steelers. I mean, he was better than Russell Wilson from last year, and Justin Fields. So the Steelers have upgraded their quarterback situation with Aaron Rodgers. So that's another reason why I think they can be contenders. And the other thing too, the teams in their division right now are struggling. The Bengals are struggling. Who else is struggling? The Bengals, the Ravens are in their division. Yeah,
the Ravens are struggling.
The Ravens are struggling. So, I mean, to be honest with you, it'll be an epic collapse if the Steelers do not win this division, because so much things are in their favor, because, as we said, the other teams are struggling. They're coming back. The Ravens only won one game.
I think they won two.
They won two. That's right. I apologize. They had only one. They just won two games last week. They beat the Bears last week. Yeah, they just won last week. I forgot they did beat the Bears last week. So, but that's not saying much. So we in week 8, and they 2-4 or something like that. So come on, the Steelers have every reason to be a contender and make it to the playoffs, because everybody else around them has been falling apart. That's all I have to say.
All right, First Lady. Well, we're going to flip it. The Ravens, with a losing record, are still favored by many of the Panties to win the division, because the Steelers are pretenders. First Lady, the Steelers are resembling, to me, last year's Cowboys, which is they beat the teams with the losing records, and the teams with the good records, they either lose, what was that? They lose to, or they might, and it's a big might, squeak out a win. And mainly they squeak out that win because they do have Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, and he's not in the habit of giving the other team the ball. So having that steady, he may not be as fast, sharp, as nimble as he used to be, but he can still throw the ball. But Lamar Jackson returning to the Ravens is going to be a big boost for them. And then Cincinnati, now that they have a stable quarterback, they can, if they're a game away from being right back in the hunt. And Cleveland, as discombobulated as they are, they can still play defense. And if you don't have your guard up, they will steal a game from you. So the Steelers, if they go true to form, they will start turning into a pumpkin. And what I mean by turning into a pumpkin is that they will play 500 ball for the rest of the season. So they'll end up with a winning record, you know, because the coach doesn't have losing records. They'll have a winning record. But someone else, more than likely the Ravens, maybe even the Bengals, will swoop up there to win that division crown. First Lady, the Steelers are pretenders.
The Steelers are, the Steelers, I mean, the Steelers always have issues. And, again, after last year, when they started out with an excellent record, and then they falter. They falter at the end, and you know, they limped into the playoffs. That's what happened. They limped into the playoffs, but they didn't do well in the playoffs. So they were pretenders when they got in the playoffs. Now again, here they go again. They started off a good again on their record, and last couple of games they have not done well. And it seems like they just they're not resilient for some reason, the Steelers. And the Steelers, they just don't have that toughness and that to sustain a winning streak. I don't know what happens to them. It seems like when the pressure gets a lot for them, meaning that they're being pressured because people expect them to win their division because how poorly the other teams have been, but they just seem to falter. And that's something that the Steelers are dealing with. And they still have offensive struggles. The offense, again, especially in the second half of games, they just do not make the same type of playmaking. There's no consistency. And these recent losses basically also presents problems of them closing out games. They cannot close out games. And this is what I'm talking about, that resolve, that mental toughness that they need. They just haven't been able to close out games for some reason. And the team lacks depth, too, because if people get injured, they have a problem of filling those positions. So overall, their depth is not that great, and they're just inconsistent. They have shown an inconsistence of playing. And you have the Ravens, like you said, Lamar is coming back. We'll see how he does Thursday night against the Dolphins, who are coming off a great win over the Falcons. And then, the Bengals, like you said, they're a little bit stable now with Flacco as their quarterback. Because, they got great weapons, extremely great weapons on the Bengals. They just needed somebody to throw them the ball. So it's not really a given, even with these Steelers having this lead, that they're going to win. So I mean, they got to get their act together. So I mean, to me, they're pretenders. Spitface, they are pretenders.
First Lady, there's something that you said. Who are the playmakers on the Steelers?
Yes.
Who are the, and they have some, talented players, but who are the playmakers that everybody got to worry about? All right, First Lady. Over to you for more flipping.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry. The Bills and the Patriots are battling for the division. Which team will win the crown? Spitface, defend. The crown goes to the Bills.
First Lady, as much as I like what is going on with the Patriots, in the end, the Buffalo Bills it's still their division. They've had a couple of slips. It's been a tough season, which is probably good for the Bills. But right now, Patriot fans, enjoy the fact that you have right now that you sitting at the number one spot, because the predictions were you were not going to be sitting at the number one spot at this point in the season. So you guys, the empire is gone. Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, they're gone. But it looks like y'all are building quite well for the future. But right now, it's the Buffalo Bills' time. And it is good for the Bills that the Patriots got competitive so that division would have some real competition. And because playing good competition has you as a better player and a better team. But as well as the Patriots are playing, it ain't going to be enough when Josh Allen gets that offense together and that Buffalo Bills defense steps up. So right now, Patriots fans have a nice sip, but the Bills will take the crown.
All right. Yeah, you said the Bills will take the crown. Yeah, I mean, who would you expect to win this division? Yes, the Patriots have made the division competitive, obviously because they did beat the Bills. That was a tremendous win for the Patriots. And, so now we got competition. The Buffalo Bills always sat on top, really didn't have any competition from this division because the Dolphins weren't doing well, the Jets were doing poorly, and then you had the Patriots, who also was doing poorly last season. So this season, because the Patriots are doing well, everybody is scrutinizing the Bills. Now, are they as good as they should be? They are. They are. They won this division for, I forgot how many straight years in a row. It's been a while. And, they have a 51% chance to win the division as of week 9. The rivalry, with the Patriots, they do have the Patriots will be there, but I have to bet on the Bills because of the fact that the Bills have won this division. The Bills also, their offense is starting to pick back up. Their defense is improving. They had added Joey Bosa, and they got some players coming back from injury. So that defense should definitely pick up tremendously with the players coming back from injury. And let's look at James Cook. James Cook has been balling this season. And, he's been rushing really great. They passing game with Josh Allen hasn't been superb, but because James Cook has been such a great standout with his rushing performances, and we keep forgetting, Josh Allen is a secret threat too with his rushing ability. So the Patriots, I give them credit, but I just can't see them beating the Bills right now. So definitely the Bills will win the crown. All right, Spitface, let's flip it. The Patriots are for real. They will win the crown. Spitface, defend. The crown goes to the Patriots. First
Lady, as what I think that we're learning in this year's NFL season is that anything can happen. Anything can happen. Teams that were on the bottom are flipping up to the top. Teams that were on the top are losing unexpectedly. And it's a jump ball pretty much all over the place, except for when it comes to them Cowboys. But the old adage, you are who your record says you are. And their record says that they are winning this division. They already beat the bad boys. You know, Bills Mafia. They already beat them. And that win did more for the Patriots. And it said that in many ways, Buffalo is in the position of the Chiefs, where the Chiefs had some serious holes, and teams had figured out a lot. Now, the Chiefs lucked up and their weapons came back, and Mahomes is back to playing out, you know, making things happen. The Bills, not quite so much. Not quite so much. The Bills, even though they're a good team and they show that and they win, they're not the team that was dominated. And that's the thing with Kansas City. Kansas City winning, but they're still not that dominant isn't there. The Eagles, the current Super Bowl champs, with a great record, it's that dominance that you don't, that you're expecting to see. Now, it may come, but we're still waiting. I'm going to say that in the case of the Patriots and the Bills, that one game gave them the edge. And that one game gave the Patriots, I'll just say, the confidence and what they need to win that division crown. So the Patriots are on the rise. It will be competitive, but the Bills are going to be in second place this season. That's what I'm saying first.
All right. Yeah, I agree with you totally that win against the Bills really catapulted them into being very confident that they belong on top of the division, because currently they are on top of the division, and their schedule is much easier than the Bills' schedule, because the Patriots, they have a bye this week. They do have a bye this week, but the Bills played the Chiefs. And the fact that they play the Chiefs, I mean, we all, like you said, the Chiefs are not as great as they were, but I think the Chiefs have a lot to prove. Now, the game is in Buffalo. The game is in Buffalo, but you know me, I don't bet against Patrick Mahomes. I won't bet on the Chiefs with that one. And if the Chiefs win that game, that's going to put the Bills further behind and on a bye week. And then when they and the Bills, they play. Actually, no, the Bills. November the 2nd. You know, I was wrong. I apologize. The Patriots do not have a bye. They have a game this week. They play the Falcons, and the Falcons were coming off a bad loss against the Dolphins, so they kind of broken. So the Patriots played the Falcons, and the Bills play the Chiefs. And so that's what I'm saying. The Chiefs' schedule is a lot. The Chiefs play, the Chiefs and the Bills are played, so that's not an easy game for the Bills. And the Bills' schedule is a lot difficult because they play the Chiefs this Sunday. They play the Dolphins next Sunday in Miami. That's an iffy game. But then after that, they got the Buccaneers. They have the Texans at home. They got the Steelers, and then they got the Bengals. So that's not an easy schedule. And the Patriots have the Falcons. Now, they got the Buccaneers after Falcons, but they play the Jets, the Bengals, the Giants. And then the two teams face off to each other on December 14th. That may be the key game to determine who is going to win this division. And, like you said, Spitface, your record is what your record is. And currently they are on top of the AFC East. And, many people now are saying that the fact that the Patriots do have an easier schedule, that they can win this. Now, basically, they're going against history because the Bills have continued to win that division. But, the Bills are vulnerable this season because of the fact that their offense is not stellar. They need playmakers. You're talking about offensive playmakers. The Bills do not have a great wide receiving core, and that is some of their problem. That's why the passing game is not great this season. So there's been talks about them making a trade before the trade deadline in order to get them over the hump. And they really need to do that because, you say what you want about Stephon Diggs, but they really don't have that true long threat wide receiver that can open up the pass, the running game, even though Cook is doing real well, but play action is always a great offensive tool. And so that's why the Bills need to get a wide receiver, and that's why I'm gonna roll with the Patriots. They are definitely going to win this division. All right, Spitface, please take us to break.
All right, on the other side of the break, we had them boys from Miami. We're getting another performance from Mighty Igloo Crew on Shout Out Part 2. Please keep your ears glued to those speakers.
Welcome back. The music flows from around the globe to get a shout-out from the crew. Spitface, over to you.
All right. On the second part of shout-out, we do have those boys and girls from Miami, and we're featuring another track from the Mighty Igloo Crew. Let's hear, him? Or is that, him? Him.
Hola, papi, ¿de dónde eres?
I'm a brother from Richmond Heights. It's in Southwest Miami, so get right or take flight. Type of brother that'll steal your bike. Spray paint the shit white. Thumbs up to this if this shit you like. You
diferente.
You right.
Cabrón.
Same brother that'll pull up on that bike. Pull out the device and clap your ass twice. Type of brother that'll cop some C. Flip it down in the keys and come back with G's. Type of brother that'll take it off hold. Squeeze the soul. Pierce your earlobe. Type of brother that stay outside. Florida boy, thoroughbred, I ain't hard to find. I'm a brother that went to old FCM, the junior high and the K. Type of brother that'll buck the jack in the Porsche Panamera, you ain't catching that. Type of brother third eye on lit. I'm over your head like a drone, I'm above the bullshit. I'm a brother that avoid the raid and let them alphabet boys absorb the fade. I'm a brother if I see George Zimmerman. If he don't surrender in, you won't see him again. Type of brother play from Mary from Tupac. Pull up on two cops and bust a few shots.
Rep your town. Rep your town.
Heights.
Rep your
The heights.
Rep your town.
The heights.
Rep your
The
town.
heights. The heights. The heights.
From the heights, you can rep your town.
I'm him.
Rep your
The
town.
heights.
Rep your
The
town.
heights.
Rep your
The
town.
heights. The heights.
From the heights, you can rep your town.
I'm a brother that don't use papers supposed to catch the vapors. Type of brother if I catch a cracker lacking. Type of brother if I catch a cracker jacking. Type of brother if I catch her twerking. She'll be squirting from this work I put in. Type of brother that'll go on a cruise for singles and come back with a ring on my middle finger. Type of brother, what the hell, I'm on fire. So if you gaslighting, my flames get even higher. Make money off of views and content, so please subscribe, like, share, and comment. Type of brother, you might think I'm human trafficking, cause I had a crowd moving forth to the back again. Type of brother, catch you shaking and flaking, boom, bye, bye, like I'm fucking Jamaican. Type of brother, if you see me on Front Street, I got the street sweeper, do not front me. Type of brother that went to jail, posted bail, and now I'm black from hell. Type of brother, Chata White don't want none. It's www.whipyourass.com. Type of brother heard you said I had a ghostwriter. Fucking liar, hit him with his typewriter. Type of brother drink Gatorade when I'm thirsty. So ladies have mercy, I know it's the first beat. I'm a brother from Richmond Heights, so if you bag a bite, spray paint that shit white.
Rep your
The
town.
Heights,
Rep your
the
town.
Heights,
Rep your
the
town.
Heights,
If you from the Heights, you can rep your
the
town.
Heights, rep your the Heights, the Heights, rep your the Heights, rep your the Heights,
If you from the Heights, you can rep your
the
town.
Heights, rep your town, rep your town,
If you from the Heights, you can rep your town.
Okay, that was him. First lady, I'm gonna give it a yo. I'm gonna give it. I haven't gave out a yo in a long time. I think I'm gonna have to get that one a yo. There were elements, I could kind of get with it, go with it, but and I was on the edge of a shout out, but I got to give it a yo.
Oh, okay. No, I'm gonna shout it out. I'm shouting it out. I mean, it had more lyrics than the one from the previous one now, but there was a lot of lyrics in this one. It had a lot of lyrics, so no, I'm shouting him out. I thought, like I said, his rapping game is good. I actually like the track. I'm shouting it out, Spiffy. I disagree with you. You shouldn't give that man a yo.
No, hey, maybe you got that Miami flavor, and I ain't here to it.
You ain't into that. Oh, okay.
All right. Well, that is the end of shout out for this week. You can check out Mighty Igloo Crew on the old Grumpy Radio Network, or you could Google them or something and find them. If you would like to be heard or have any comments, please send your emails and tracks to talent@oldgrumpyradio.com. First lady, over to you.
All right, it's time for the pigskin picks. We are entering in week 9, so let's go over the results from week 8. Wow. All I can say is I ended up being the winner of the week results, and guess what? I won because I didn't lose any points. I had a big fat 0. But Dizzy Mac, you and Spitface, you and Dizzy Mac, each of you lost a negative 500,000 points. So that's, yeah. And I see, actually, I don't do that well with the, under, over, and push. But I see the producers have a lot of under, over, and pushes. So anyway, the current standings after week 8 losses, and basically I stood still. I'm currently at a negative 525,000 points. Spitface, you're at a negative 1,225,000 points. And that's basically over 100 and something that. And Dizzy Mac is at 125,000 points. You're at 122,500,000 points. Dizzy Mac is 125,000 points. I think I got it right. And I'm at negative 525,000 points. Okay. So we still got a lot of work to do. So I guess, like I said, We got a lot of picks this week. We either going to go further in the hole or out of it. All right, so let's get to the Thursday night game. The Ravens versus the Dolphins. I am going to go. I rooted against the Dolphins last week, but I'm still going to root against them again. I'm going with the Ravens because Lamar is playing. Even though the Ravens did not win last year at the stadium. So as a matter of fact, the last time they beat the Dolphins was 2023. So that's not really good. So I think they're due. All right, we'll get Dizzy Mac's picks later. And Spitface, who do you have? Dolphins versus the Ravens.
I hate this game, and because both teams are really in the unpredictable category. The Dolphins seriously need to win so folks can keep their jobs. The Ravens need to seriously win if they want to have any hopes of going past the Steelers and winning the division. So I expect this to be a game with some ups and downs and crazy turnarounds. So I'm going to go with the home team, the Dolphins.
Okay, you're going with the home team, the Dolphins. All right. Well, you won last week with that, so that was a good pick. All right. The Bears versus the Bengals. Woo, Spitface, who do you have?
This is a game where, Joe Flacco, those great wide receivers. But you know what? I'm going to roll with the Bears.
Going with the Bears.
I think they'll rebound.
I'm going with the Bengals. They're home. They won last week, so they think they're on a roll. All right, Vikings versus the Lions. Definitely going with the Lions. Spitface, who do you have?
I'm growling with them Lions.
All right, Panthers versus the Packers. Who do you have?
Packers.
Yeah,
and they at home? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with the Packers also. All right, this is a good game. Broncos versus the Texans. I'm gonna Spitface. Who do you have?
I'm gonna go with the Texans, only because they're the home team.
I'm going with the Broncos because I think they're a better team. All right. Falcons versus the Patriots. I'm going with the Patriots. What's Raheem's last name? But anyway, Raheem's on the hot seat with the Falcons. So anyway, but I don't think the Falcons look horrible against the Dolphins. I don't see them rebounding against the Patriots, especially now the Patriots have a lead. They need to win. All right, Spitface, who do you have?
I'm rolling with the Patriots.
All right, 49ers versus the Giants. Who do you have, Spitface?
This could be an upset right here. It really, really could be an upset. I'm going to go with the Giants.
All right, I'm going with the 49ers. I mean, the Giants lost their running back for the year, so I don't know what type of run game they're going to have. So I'm going with the Giants. All right, the Colts versus the Steelers. I am going to go. I'm going to go with the Colts. Face, who do you have?
Will the Steelers rebound after that loss to the Packers? I think the Colts got too much offense for them. I'm going with the Colts.
All right. Chiefs versus the Bills. Face, who do you have?
Bills Mafia. You know, this is the Bills need to win this game, but I'm going with the Chiefs.
Oh, you going with the Chiefs? I'm going with the Chiefs also, but I was surprised that you're going with the Chiefs. All right, Seahawks versus the Commanders. I am going to go with the Commanders. They need to rebound. Hopefully, Jalen Daniels can play, but I'm going with the Commanders. Spitface, who do you have?
You know, I'm a little nervous with this because the Seahawks are playing some good ball. And
the Seahawks. You know what? I always confuse them with the Raiders. But anyway, go ahead. I don't know why I do.
Oh, the Raiders? Oh, yeah, okay.
Go ahead. Who do you have?
No, I've got. I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
I know I should change it, but I don't know if Jalen Daniels is going to play. The Commanders need to win the game, so I'm going to go with the Commanders. I'll stick with the Commanders. But I keep forgetting the Seahawks are good this year. I'm thinking, I don't know why I can always confuse. You know, because last week, I thought I had said the Seahawks, and then I said, but the Seahawks won. I think I was the only one that picked the Seahawks to win, and they won. Let me go with the Commanders because they need a win. All right, Cardinals versus the Cowboys. Spitface, who do you have?
Cowboys will outscore them, so I'll go in with the Cowboys.
Is Kyler Murray playing? He was injured. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought he was supposed to play this week.
All right, I'm going to go with the Cowboys because they need a win. They need a win. I'm going to go to Cowboys. Okay, over and unders. These are worth $500,000. I apologize. The winners are $250,000, and these are worth 500,000 points. Okay, here we go. Over and under push. Dak Prescott, 3 passing touchdowns. I'm going to say under. Spitface?
I'm going to go with a push.
I started to do a push, but I for some reason, I don't know. I'm going to say under. Aaron Rodgers, 2 passing touchdowns. Spitface?
Let's see. I'm going to say I'm going to go with over.
Okay, you're going over. I'm going to go with a push. Aaron Rodgers, 2 interceptions. I'm going to go with under. Spitface?
Under.
He's probably going to have 1. C.J. Stroud, 2 passing touchdowns. Spitface?
I'm going to go with an over.
Because the Texans are playing the Broncos. No, I'm going to go, C.J. Stroud. I'm going to go with a push. And you said over?
I'm going with an over.
Okay. Now I'm going with the push. Derrick Henry, 60 rushing yards. He hasn't been rushing that great, but I'm going to stay over. Even though the Dolphins' defense has been much better in these last couple of games, I'm going to still go with over. Spitface?
I'm going to go with over.
DeAndre Swift, 75 rushing yards. Spitface?
Over.
Okay. I'm going to go with over. Drake May, 222 yards passing. That's the Patriots. I'm going to go with over. Spitface?
I'm going to go with the over.
Bijan Robinson, 80 yards rushing.
I'm going to go with under.
Yeah, he hasn't been hitting his mark the last two games. And they're playing the Patriots. Patriots defense, I'm trying to think what their rushing defense is. I'm going to go with under also. Stephon Diggs, 1 receiving touchdown. I'm going to go with under. Spitface.
Oh, you're going to go with under. Okay. And I'm going to go with over.
I don't think I'm going with so he has to get you know what? No, I'm gonna go with under. I was gonna do a push, but I'm gonna do under because Stephon Diggs 111 receiving yards. I'm going with under also. Spitface.
I'm going with under.
Okay. All right. We shall see how we will do. Hopefully, with all these points this week, we will either be further in the red or out of the red.
That'll be accurate.
That will be accurate. Okay. Spitface, what is your top story to watch this week?
The wrap-up of the World Series and what record will Shohei Ohtani break as a Dodger during for the series? And if the Dodgers somehow, because Toronto is 1 game away, if they pull it out and win, will he be the MVP? That's what I'm watching.
Okay, so that's what you're watching this week. Well, I'm watching this week because the NFL trade deadline is on Tuesday, next Tuesday. So I expect some trades this week. So that's what I'm looking at to see which teams are going to make some trades this week before the deadline. There's a lot of teams that need to make some trades, and a lot of teams need to have a fire sale. And the Browns need to have a fire sale because they need to get rid of some of them high contracts of Myles Garrett. And the New Orleans Saints need to have a fire sale of some of their veterans because they are definitely on a rebuilding. So you got to get rid of high-priced veterans. And some of these teams that need to get to the playoffs, there's a lot of people that they can get. So I think it's going to be a very, very active trade market starting this week. All right. Check out our current and previous episodes at bras.pantiesandsports.com. This is Cheryl Smith, the First Lady of Sports Talk, and Spitface. You have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. See you next week.